Hi everyone, today I want to talk about the software capabilities of my custom keypad, but this video is really for everyone who has a Vial-compatible keyboard. I'm going to explain what Vial is, then do my best to simplify and break down its core features, and at the end, I'll show you how to actually use it. The reason I'm making this video is because I've shared the controller with several people, and almost every one of them felt confused and overwhelmed by the Vial user experience. It's excellent and very capable software, but it took me quite a bit of time to figure it out myself. Let me start with explaining what Vial actually is. So it's an open source user interface for configuring your keyboard in real time. You can read everything about it over here. They have really good documentation. You will also hear me say a lot QMK firmware. So QMK firmware stands for Quantum Mechanical Keyboard Firmware. It's also an open source keyboard firmware. You can read more about it here. QMK firmware is the foundation that powers your keyboard, and Vial is a layer built on top of it for the user. This is how I think you should think about it. As a user of such a keyboard or keypad, you don't really need to worry about QMK at all. You would only be interacting with Vial user interface that looks like this. The first key feature that every QMK/Vial keyboard owner should know about is the capability to assign anything to any key. And I'm intentionally saying anything because it's not just characters, it's special characters as well. It's app, media, mouse controls. You can move the cursor of your mouse with the keys if you assign it in such a way. You can control volume. You could have cut and copy paste pre-built macros, so to speak, and everything that you can normally see on other keyboards. Then you can control RGB LEDs if you have that feature, like you see I have an RGB LED in here, so I can control the color of it, the brightness, different modes, and there's much more actually. The next thing is layers. Layers allow the ability to change the functionality of the entire keyboard based on what layer it's currently on. This keypad has 25 physical keys, but because it also has 8 layers, by switching between them, you de facto get over 200 keys. The functionality of these layers, I would break it down onto 2 major groups: the core functionality and advanced functionality. If you're curious, you can go and read documentation about the advanced functionality, but I think every QMK-based keyboard owner should know about is the momentary switching between layers. It's active. The layer is active while you hold in a key. That's how your shift, for example, works. And the toggle ability, where you activate that layer until you deactivate it. And I think what's important to understand, if you have a QMK-based keyboard with a Vial on top of it, you absolutely should use at least these 2 capabilities: assigning any key to anything, customizing your layout for your needs, and utilizing layers. If you don't use this functionality, you are basically throwing money and excellent capabilities out of the window. The next capability is key activation type. I think it's getting into a little bit more advanced territory. The term you might see in the documentation is tap dance. Key activation type allows you to configure different actions depending on how a key is pressed. So you could have one key, and if you tap, you get one action. If you hold it, you get something else. If you double tap, you get a third action out of it. And if you tap hold, like this, you get fourth action. This way, you could basically utilizing, let's say, 5 layers, default layer, and 4 layers assigned to one key this easily. So if you had a question, okay, wait a second, so if I have 8 layers and only 25 keys, does this mean that I dedicate 8 keys for 8 layers? Well, no, not necessarily. You can have only one key that either does this or serves as a hub for layers. So this is the example where you can toggle between 4 layers, so base layer and 4 additional layers. And last feature that I think it's worth mentioning is combos and macros. Combos allow you to add custom actions when a certain combination of keys is pressed. Macros is reversed. Macros can be used to perform a pre-programmed sequence of actions or steps. I have this exclamation point in here because you really need to be very careful with using macros. Some video games consider that a bannable offense, while other games like World of Warcraft allows you to have macros. So make sure before using macros in video games, you're familiar with their terms of use. Not every game allows this. The combo is you have two completely different keys, but when you press them together, you get something completely different. So this is another way, for example, to assign layers. You could have everything assigned the way you like it, but then you just grab two random keys, you press them at the same time, and they, for example, toggle a layer, or just do an action. Macros is when you press one button and you perform multiple actions. This is pretty much the core capabilities. I would say that there are 4 layers of complexity to it, and I would probably draw the line over here. At least you should try and use these 2, customizing your layout and taking advantage of layers. Of course, you don't have to use all 8 layers. Like, for example, you could have something pretty simple and straightforward like this. You could have your base layer that you customize for your needs. And then when you switch to the second layer, you get media controls, for example, or you create a layer hub where you could have de facto profiles where, like in this instance, I'm using an example of layer 2 being a profile tailored for a specific game. So you don't have to go crazy with this. You can have it relatively simple. And if you want to be extra fancy and advanced, you can also take advantage of these 2 capabilities. And to be clear, QMK and Vial support a lot more than these 4. But this is what I think is the foundation that every user should understand. So now with that said, let's actually dive into Vial, and I'll show you how to do all 4 of these with this interface. Let's start with the foundation, with the ability to assign anything to any key. The way I do it is I select the key, this one, in my case. Right now, you see it's typing B. I just select what I want to be here. You see it changed. Now this key types O. I don't need to unplug it. I don't need to restart it. Now it's already in the memory on the board. So it's done as easy as that. And as I mentioned before, it's not just the characters. It could be anything. For example, you can do mouse controls. So if I make this mouse up, mouse left, mouse right, mouse down. So look at that. I'm moving the cursor with my analog joystick. But again, it doesn't have to be analog joystick. If you have a keyboard without the analog joystick, it also can be keys. Here's another good example. If I go to the apps, this stands for calculator. So let's reassign the same key, the bottom right corner, to calculator. So when I press that, look at that. I've launched the calculator. Next, layers. Let's make this key to switch to layer 1. MO1 stands for momentary layer 1. So this is layer 0. You can also see it in here. By selecting this key and choosing momentary 1, this means that as long as I'm holding this key, I am activating layer 1. Where do I configure my layer 1? Over here. These are layers. So if I go to layer 1, now I can assign anything to layer 1. Next, I would like to show you this feature. It is a little bit on the advanced side. The interface for it is a little bit confusing, but it's very useful and very fun. And the utility is excellent here, especially on a keypad with fewer keys, or as a matter of fact, 40% keyboard like this. So how do we use this? By the way, Again, the feature in QMK firmware is called tap dance. So if you want to Google a little bit and learn a little bit more, this is the term that you use. This functionality lives in this tap dance. When we go here, we first select a slot. Let's do TD0. So from this interface, you can probably tell that you can assign this to only 32 keys from 0 to 31. So you assign this TD0 to this key. Where do you actually configure this? Well, you configure it there in this tab. So after you went here, selected a slot, assign it to the key, then you go into this tab and you determine what each of these does. And you also can adjust timing if you need to. So as a simple experiment, let's do this. For on tap, let's assign Q, on hold W, on double tap E, and tap hold R, and leave the tap delay 200 millisecond. QWER. Let's see. I tap it, it's Q. I hold it, it's W. I double tap, it's E. And I tap hold, it's R. I think this feature is incredibly useful to navigate layers like this. This is what I had before in here. I can effectively use 5 layers, sacrificing only one key. The last thing I want to talk about is combo and macro. Combo works a little bit different. You just go into this tab, combos. You select key 1. This is my R. This is my T. So I can define whether I want to have a dual, triple, or quadruple key combo. If I leave this empty, it's just going to be a 2-key combo. And then I specify the output key. Let's say it outputs O. If I press this key, it's R. If I press this key, it's T. If I press both at the same time, it's O. And if you look over here at the top, you can have up to 32 combos pre-programmed like this. And lastly, I want to explain macros. And again, be careful with this feature if you use these devices for video games, because some video games don't allow macros use. It is incredibly useful if you use professional software. You use macros in Vial similarly how we use tab dance. So you go into this tab down here, you assign a macros to a specific key. I assign M0, macro 0 to this key. So every time I press this key, it executes that macros. Right now it does nothing because M0 is empty for me. I need to configure what M0 actually is. And we'll do it in a second. So you see, it does nothing here as well. So, and then after we assigned M0 to a key, we go into this tab, macros. And while we are in the M0 tab, we start actually building out our macros. So we press add action. In here from the drop down, we can choose various types of actions. So you see by default it's selected to the text is selected. So if I put something in here, some text, and I save it, now pressing this key types this whole string. If you look at this drop-down menu, there are several different actions in addition to text. It could be down state of the key. Basically, it's holding a key for you. Normal state or conventional state would be tap. So if you want to press a sophisticated combination of keys, let's say, in some software, you have something really advanced and you need 2 hands to press it. This is a great way to do it. You can just go and choose anything, and then you save it as before. And then by pressing that one key, you get entire combination typed in for you. You can go really advanced with macros. I personally don't use them at all. So I really encourage you to go and read the documentation over here if you're into macros. But if you have one of these keyboards, I strongly encourage you to at least do these two. And I think this concludes it. Let me know if it was clear or not, and if you would like me to clarify something a little bit more. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.